late.
Who was that?
Don't worry, you won't believe it. I had a flat tire on the road, and it was the guy who helped me and took me home.
It's no big deal. As long as you've got something to celebrate. That is. We do have something to celebrate. That is.
That depends on you. You know what this is? This is the son of a bitch that gave me the flat. And you know what any normal man does when he gets the flat? Goes to the trunk and gets out the spare. If the spare isn't flat too, that is. If his wife remembered to fix the spare.
His wife. Always had to be the wife who fixes everything.
Look, this
You were supposed to fix the spare.
This is an absurd discussion. What are we fighting about?
We're not fighting, darling. You accuse me of not fixing your spare.
My spare?
And since it is your spare, you should be the one fixing it.
Look. The spare is just one thing. Let's clear this thing here up. Right now. The thing that you did not fix the spare, that's open to discussion. But there is another little matter. The jack.
What jack?
Yes, what jack? Where did you put the car jack? You know, the jack of the car.
Gave it to my mother.
You gave it to your mother?
Loaned it, yes.
And may I ask you why?
Yes, you may. Because she needed it.
While I can go fuck myself.
No. I heard everything on the radio. I know it.
Yeah. I got a telegram from the president to see him immediately, and that was the most important meeting in my whole life, and this son of a bitch of a nail was lying there on the road waiting for me. Luckily not on my way there. And there I was on the road without a spare and without a goddamn jack.
I knew you would find someone to help you out. Was she pretty at least? Sexy?
I already told you it was a man.
You said nothing of the kind.
Why do you always have to suppose there is a woman?
Indeed. I just can't imagine why. But you see, I don't know how you do it, but in the end, everything turns out just right for you.
I had to stand there for hours.
No exaggerating, huh?
Okay, 45 minutes, exactly 45. Lucky for me, this man, this Dr. Roberto Miranda came and helped me out. I invited him over for a drink on Sunday.
I heard you.
Is Sunday all right?
Sunday's fine. So the president named you
Yeah, he named me.
the peak of your career.
I wouldn't call it the peak. I'm after the youngest of those he named. And besides,
When you're Minister of Justice in a few years' time, that will be the peak, huh?
that certainly does not depend on me. And besides, I haven't decided yet if I should accept.
You have decided.
No. I told him that I needed some time, but of course I told him I felt extremely honored.
To the president.
Yeah.
That's what you told the president.
Yeah, I told him that I needed some more time to think it over.
I don't see what you have to think over. You have made your decision, Ariel. You know you have. That's what you've been working for all these years. Why pretend that now you got what you want?
First, I wanted you to say yes. Not the yes I want.
That's the only yes I want.
Look, if I were to accept, I must know that I can count on you. You see, what if you have another relapse? It could leave me quite...
Vulnerable. It could leave you vulnerable. You would have to take care of me all over.
Are you criticizing me for taking care of you?
Really, that's what you told the president, that your wife might have problems dealing with the fact that you were not able to have me.
No. Nobody knows anything. Nothing that your mother knows.
There are people who know.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about those kinds of people. Nobody in the new government knows. The fact is that we never denounced it, we never made it public what they did to you.
Which commission your name to? Doesn't it only investigate the cases that ended in death?
It's appointed to investigate human rights violation that ended in death, or the presumption of death, yes.
Only the most serious cases?
The idea is that if we throw light on the worst crimes, other abuses will come to light as well.
Only the most serious?
Let's say the cases that are beyond repair.
Beyond repair. The record.
I don't like to talk about this, Pauline.
I don't like to talk about this either.
But of course, we will have to talk about it, won't we? You and I, Pauline. If I'm going to spend the next few months listening to the evidence, the relatives, the survivors, and witnesses, you don't want me to keep all that stuff to myself, don't you? Look, I wish you knew how much I still love you, and how much it still hurts me.
Well done. Yes. Is that the yes you wanted?
Yeah, it's the yes I wanted.
Find out what happened. Find out everything. Promise me that you will find out everything that's been happening.
Everything that we can. But you see, there is so much we can do. We will publish our conclusions, there will be an official report. What happened will be established objectively, so no one will ever able to deny it.
And then, you hear the relatives of the victims. You denounce the crimes. But what happens to the criminals?
That depends on the judges. The courts receive a copy of the original evidence, and from there they proceed
The
to
judges? The same judges who never intervened to save one life in 17 years of dictatorship? The same judges who never accepted a single habeas corpus ever? Judge Peralta, who told that poor woman who had come looking for her missing husband, that the man had probably grown tired of her and run off with some other woman? What did you call him? A judge?
I see.
A judge?
Calm down, please. Come sit with me. Don't be so nervous. Just think about it. What would you have done if you had had the flat?
Someone would have stopped. Probably the same Dr. Miranda.
You see? Not everybody is a son of a bitch.
No. Not everybody.
I invited him over for a drink on Sunday. Is that fine?
Sunday's fine. I was frightened. I heard a car and I knew that it wasn't yours.
But there was no danger, was there?
No. Gerardo, you already said yes to the president, didn't you? Tell me the truth. Or are you going to start to work on the commission with a lie?
I just didn't want to hurt you.
You told the president you accepted without asking me, didn't you? Tell me the truth.
I'm off to sleep.
Good evening.
Good evening.
You forgot your suitcase in my car.
My suitcase? Oh my God, how could I be so stupid?
I drove all the way home before it hit me.
Now, you have to have a drink now. So please come inside and sorry for this hesitating, but you know, it's just that we are still not used to democracy. When someone knocks on the door at midnight and it's a friend, not a black card. Would you like to have a drink?
No thanks, sir. Well, maybe a decent incident.
A decent, right?
Oh, you know.
Well?
You know, on the way home, I was listening to the radio, and they said the list of the names the president has chosen for his investigating commission. They said Gerardo Escobar, and all of a sudden it hit me. I realized it's you. It is so unreal that I can be the hero of these days.
Oh, you're talking of me as if I were someone
No, I'm telling you, and this is straight from the heart. You indeed know that this commission is going to have us towards an exceptional thing for chapter 9. Did you find out what happened to your check?
My wife gave it to her mother.
To her mother.
Yeah, you know women.
Oh, we may explore all our frontiers, my friend, but we will never understand how unpredictable the female soul is. You know what Nietzsche once wrote? That we can never entirely possess the female soul. If you want to know the real truth, look, that's why I think of you. To congratulate you, to tell you that you are exactly what this country needs to be able to find out the truth once and for all.
What this country needs is justice. So we must determine the truth.
Just what I was about to say. Even if we can't put these people on trial, even if they're covered by this amnesty, at least their names can be published.
Those names are not to be published. They are to be kept secret. This commission is not allowed to give out the names of those criminals.
In this country, everything finally comes out into the open. And then we have to lie. Then we say slander. It's a communist conspiracy. But the truth will be written all over them, and their children will feel disgust and sorrow for them. It's not like putting them in jail, but I'm for killing a bunch of them.
I hate to disagree, Roberto, but you see, I don't think that this death penalty thing has ever solved any of the society's problems.
Then we are going to have to disagree, Gerardo. There are people who simply don't deserve to be alive. But what I was really getting at, it was that you're going to have quite a problem.
Not one. The army is going to fight the commission all the way. They already told the president that this investigation was an insult and that this commission is dangerous.
Well, that was exactly my point when you said that the names wouldn't be published. Maybe you're right. Maybe we will never know who these people really were. They form a sort of kind of
Mafia?
Mafia, yes. Mafia. It's a secret brotherhood. Nobody gives out names, and they cover each other's backs. Yes, maybe you're right. It may not be as easy as I thought.
Not as difficult either. I mean, the president told me, and this stays right between us, the president already told me that there are people willing to make statements as long as their confidentiality is guaranteed. And you know, once people start talking, once the confessions begin, names will pour out like water. And in this country, we really end up knowing everything.
I wish I could share your optimism. But I'm afraid there are things we will never do.
We are limited, but not as limited, you know? At least we can expect some sort of moral sanction, as we can't expect justice from the courts.
I hope to God you're right. I really do. What? It's getting late, my friend. Oh, it's already 2 o'clock.
Don't you just stay over for a whole night? Unless, of course, you've got somebody waiting for you.
Oh, that's so My wife and kids have gone off the
Not
my
another
wife-
word! And you're going to stay for the night, and you're going to have a couple more drinks, and you will stay in the guest room, and you will see the wonderful breakfast that my wife is going to prepare for you. Now that convinced me. A nice breakfast.
And the real truth is that I'm incredible.
Come with me. I'll show you to the guest room. Paulina, darling, the doctor who helped me on the road, he came back and brought back the suitcase that I had left in his car. Darling, are you there? Don't be scared. He's a friend. And tomorrow morning you can make us a nice breakfast.
won't take a colossal effort of the imagination on your part to guess why. Lucky for me, there was Gerardo. After the custody in your prison, well, I wouldn't exactly say that he was waiting for me, but let's just say that he still loved me. So I never had to go back to the university. Lucky for me, as I developed a certain apprehension about this. But here I am, chatting away when I'm supposed to be making a nice breakfast, aren't I? Now you like, let's see, ham, sandwiches, was it? But we will get to know your other tastes. I just don't want to remove this gag, you call it, don't you? At least not until Gerardo wakes up. The real truth is that you look slightly bored. Oh, I took this out of your car. I took the liberty. I hope you don't mind. How about to listen to some Schubert while I make a nice breakfast? One night we were dining with extremely important people. The hostess happened to put Schubert on. Piano sonata. I felt extremely sick right then and there. Gerardo had to take me home. So we just left them listening to Schubert. Strange, isn't it? When he used to be my favorite composer. Such a sad sense of life. But I always promised myself that the time would come to recover him, bring him back from the grave, so to speak, and just sitting here, listening to him with you now, I knew that I was right. It's crazy to think that I was on the verge of throwing my whole Schubert collection out. Isn't this quartet marvelous? My love. And now I will be able to listen to my Schubert again. Even go to a concert like we used to. The breakfast as agreed. By the way, did you know that Schubert was homosexual? But of course you do. You were the one who kept repeating it to me over and over again while you played. Is this the very cassette, or do you buy a new one every year to keep the sound pure?
Paulina.
Good morning, darling. Sorry, breakfast is not quite ready yet.
What is this, Paulina?
Don't touch him.
What the hell is going
Do
on?
not touch him.
Who is he?
It's him.
Put the gun
It's
down.
him.
Who?
It's the doctor.
What doctor?
The doctor who played Schubert.
Doctor who played Schubert?
That doctor.
How do you know?
The voice.
But weren't you?
Blindfolded all through those weeks? Yes, I was. But I could still hear.
You're sick.
I'm not sick.
You're sick.
All right, then I'm sick. But I can be still sick and recognize recognize a voice. Besides, when we lose one of our senses, the others compensate. They get sharper, right, Dr. Miranda?
Paulina, the vague memory of someone's voice is not a proof of
It's
anything.
his voice, certain phrases he uses. I recognize it as soon as he came in here last night. It may be a teensy, weensy thing, but it's enough for me. That voice next to my ear makes me so loud. Do you think I forget the voice like that? Give her a bit more. This bitch can take a bit more. Give it to her. Are you sure, Doctor? What if the cunt dies on us? She's not even near fainting. Give it to her. Up another notch.
Paulina, please put that gun down.
No.
Why are you pointing it at me? There is no possible dialogue.
The contrary. As soon as I stop pointing it at you, all dialogue will automatically terminate.
I want you to know that what you're doing now is going to have serious consequences.
Serious, huh? Irreparable, huh?
Yes, this could be irreparable. I'm sorry,
Don't
Doctor.
you dare to ask forgiveness from that piece of shit! Look at those hands. Those
Untie him,
hands.
Paulina, immediately.
No!
Then I will. Paulina, don't shoot. Don't shoot that thing off, please. You can't do this.
And are you going to stop telling me what I can and can't do?
Okay, look. The only thing you can accuse him of in front of a judge, yes. However corrupt, venal, cowardly, a judge. So the only thing you can accuse him of is of stopping on the road and helping me who was in need and take me home. So please try to be reasonable. It's not that
You be reasonable. They never did anything to you.
they did things, of course they did things. But we're not competing for some goddamn horror prize here. Fuck it! Let's try to be reasonable. Even if this man is the doctor of those terrible events, what right do you have to bite him like this? To treat him like this? Please, Paulina, try to be reasonable and think of the consequences. Or should I call the police?
Oh, I doubt you would do that. You believe too much in your own powers of persuasion. Besides, you do know that if the police show their noses here, I'm going to put the bullet straight through this man's hat. You do know that. Don't you?
To yourself, what you're doing. It's not you. How can you be this way? How can you talk this way?
Explain to my husband, Dr. Miranda, what you did to me, so I would be this crazy.
Look, Paulina, I want you to tell me exactly what you intend to do.
Not me. You and me. We are going to put him on trial, Gerardo. This doctor. Right here, today. You and me. Or is your famous investigating commission going to do it? That night, when they let me go, do you know where I went? I couldn't go home to my parents. And well, you don't need me to describe you the state I was in. You gave me quite a thorough inspection before I was released, didn't you? something to eat, sweet cunt. I'll give you something big and filling so you can forget your hunger. You never knew anything about Gerardo, did you? I mean, I never even breathed his name. Come on, just tell us who's been fucking you, little lady. But I never gave them Gerardo's name. I was wild and fearless, willing to do anything for him. I can't believe that I didn't have an ounce of fear in my whole body at that time. So that night, when they let me go, I went to Gerardo's house. I knocked on his door, over and over again. And when he finally answered, he looked agitated. His hair was disheveled.
You know that I have spent a great part of my life defending the law. And if there was one thing that revolted me in the past regime, it was that they accused so many men and women, and that they forged evidence, and that they ignored the same evidence and didn't give the accused any chance of defending themselves. So even if this doctor committed genocide on a daily basis, he has the right to defend himself.
But I have no intention of denying him that right, Gerardo. I will give you all the time you need to speak to your client, right? We're just waiting for you to pull yourself together, that's all. So that we could begin all this in an official, orderly fashion.
What?
We want water, Gerardo. Nothing like good, fresh water, huh, doctor? Beats drinking your own piss.
Paulina.
Give the good doctor some water. Be a nice host, I guess.
This is inexcusable. I don't know you, man. I have never seen you before in my life. But I can tell you this. You are extremely ill, almost prototypical schizoid. But you, Ariel, you sir, you're not ill. You're a lawyer, a defender of human rights. You must untie me immediately!
Who are you threatening?
What was that?
Threatening, yes, you were. But threat time is over. In here, I'm in command. Now is that clear?
I need to go to the bathroom.
Piece or shit!
Paulina!
Our good doctor is used to this sort of language. Come on, doctor. Front or rear? Front or rear? Front or rear? Front or rear? Front or rear!
Front!
Untie him, Gerardo. I'll take him.
Of course not. I will take him.
I'll do it. It's not as if it's the first time he's going to take his instrument out in front of me. Come on, doctor. Stand up. I don't want you pissing all over my rod. Oh, what is that teensy weensy thing?
Room and paper.
Shut up or I shoot you, Dad! What is it now, doctor? Can't you do it? No need to be shy around here. Time is up, doctor. Let me put that rear thing away first. Tie him up again.
This is intolerable. I must talk to you outside. What are you trying to do with these insane acts?
I already told you. But you won't try.
Do you want vengeance? We can't use their methods. We're different.
I'm giving him all the guarantees he never gave me.
Are you going to kill him?
I want justice.
So what are you going to do? Is that because 15 years ago someone...
Someone what? What did they do to me, Ariel? You never said it out loud. Say it now.
You never detailed that before. I just know that they tortured you.
They tortured me, yes. What else did they do to me?
They raped you.
How many times?
I don't know. You said that you never counted it.
It's not true. I always kept count. I know how many times. Gerardo, you promised to put these bastards on
That
trial.
was 15 years ago, Paulina.
Tell me, who is supposed to listen to my accusations against this doctor? Your commission.
If you don't let him go, there will be no commission to go back to. Because they will force me to resign.
You're always so melodramatic. Your brow gets all furrowed up with wrinkles that make you look at least 10 years older. And when the people will see your photograph in the newspaper, they will not believe that you are indeed the youngest member of the commission.
You don't know how the newspapers will use this episode to undermine the commission and destroy me. Leave him alone and set him free.
That I promise. As solemn as it can be that this private trial will not affect you or your commission. But you see, the problem is that you only deal with the dead, with those who can't speak. I'm not dead. I thought I was, but I'm not, and I can speak, damn it.
I will be forced to resign anyhow.
Because of your own life. It's not only the voice I recognize, I also recognize the skin and the smell. Suppose I was able to prove beyond the shadow of a doubt that this doctor of yours is guilty. Would you want me to set him free anyway?
Or his being guilty is the reason to set him free. You satisfy your own personal passions and to punish on your own, while the other people in this country who finally have the chance, they can just go screw themselves and the whole return to democracy can screw itself.
Nobody's going to get screwed. Nobody's even going to know.
Set him free, Paulina. I'm begging you. Let him go and free this man.
And me? What I need? Look at me.
Yes,
Look
yes.
at me.
Yes, my darling, look at you. Look at you. You are still a prisoner. You're still locked behind in that basement. And for the last 15 years, what have you done with your life? Not a thing. Isn't it time to forget?
Forget? Are you asking me to forget?
Free yourself from them, Paulina. That's what I'm asking. And let him loose.
Look, Gerardo. I suggest that we reach a compromise.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Compromise? Isn't it what this transition is all about? I propose that we reach an agreement so that you see that I'm not irresponsible or emotional or sick. You want this man freed without bothering him on. And I want him to confess. You know what I was thinking of? Doing to them systematically, minute by minute, instrument by instrument, what they did to me, especially to the doctor, because the doctor would play Schubert, he would talk about science, he even quoted Nietzsche to me once. I was horrified at myself. But I should have so much hatred inside me. But that was the only way for me to fall asleep at night. Well, I would imagine pushing their heads into a bucket of their own shit. So when I heard his voice last night, I thought that the only thing I want is to have him raped at some point. And as I can't rape, I thought that it was a sentence that you would have to carry out, Ariel. But then I realized that it would be kind of difficult for you to collaborate in that scheme. After all, you do need to have a certain degree of enthusiasm. So then I asked myself if you couldn't use a broom. Yes, Ariel, a broom, you know, like a broomstick. But then I realized I only want him to confess. I want him to sit in front of that recorder and tell me what he did. That's what I want.
He confesses, and then you let him go.
I let him go.
And you want nothing more of him?
Not a thing. With Miranda's confession in my hand, he would know that if he tries to harm me or you, his words would be all over the news the next day. For his sake, you can convince him.
I have to convince him?
I'd say it's a lot more pleasant than having to fuck him.
Oh, come here! There is one thing, of course, he might have thought of. What if he hasn't got anything to confess?
Tell him if he doesn't confess, I will kill him.
What if he's not guilty?
I mean, no hurry. Tell him I can wait months for him to confess.
You're not listening to me, Paulina. What if he has got anything to confess because he's innocent?
Oh, if he's innocent. Well then, he's really screwed.
You're not hungry, Doctor?
Roberto. My name is Roberto. Please, sit on the area.
Well, I want to call you as if you were one of my clients, Dr. Roberto
She's
Miranda.
mad. She should receive psychiatric treatment.
To put it brutally, you are her therapy.
Is she going to kill me?
Unless you confess, she's going to kill you.
But what should I confess?
You may be aware, doctors, that the secret police use some doctors for torture sessions as consultants. Now, my wife firmly believes that you're one of the doctors who tortured her.
But there is no other evidence. Nothing but my damned voice.
And your skin. She also mentioned your skin.
My skin.
And your smell.
Fantasies of a diseased man. It could have been any man who came through.
Fortunately, you came through that door.
Look at him. I'm a quiet man. Anyone can see that I'm incapable of violence. It was a very stupid thing to stop for you. I'm in this mess because of you. Now, you have to get me out of here.
I'm going to be honest with you, Ariel. There is only one way to save your life. It is that we have to indulge her, so that she sees that you're willing to cooperate. She told me, if you are willing to confess, she will be ready to release you.
I haven't got anything to confess.
Then you're going to have to find out something, because the only way she will pardon you is to confess.
I did nothing, and there is nothing to confess. Do you understand? Instead of proposing dishonorable solutions to me, you should be out there convincing that mad woman of yours to cease this criminal behavior before she ruins your career. Or can't you impose a little order in your own house? She's absolutely insane.
Yes, but when insane people have power, you have got to indulge them. In her case, with a confession.
What are you going to do? You believe her, don't you?
It does not matter what I believe anymore, Roberto. We all need that confession now, for our own good.
In the end, you are the one who is going to kill. This is what any normal man would do if someone had raped his wife. This is what I would do if someone had raped my wife. The catcher ball, sir.
I don't want to be in the middle in between the two of you. You should reach an understanding with her. You should convince her.
But you have to understand that I don't know how to confess her. I don't know what should I confess. If I make a mistake, she'll think I'm lying. Help me, please help me with the story, so that I could give the best confession.
I can help you, yeah. I can help you, but I need her to confess first. Look, Paulina, if you want a real trial, you will have to give the best to me. Tell me the things that you never detailed before, after you were released.
Started to tell you, Međunarodni. 15 years ago, right after getting out of that mess. How could you expect me to keep on talking to you with that bitch there? That woman came out of your bedroom, half naked, asking why you were taking so long. And you really expected me to speak?
She wasn't a bitch.
Did you know where I was? Did you know about the things that they were doing to me for you? Of course she did. Proper man, this woman wasn't exactly able to defend herself, huh?
I don't want to talk about this anymore. How many times do we have? Look, I spent 3 months trying to find you. And then she just came by. And then she said she could help, and well, one evening we had a couple of drinks, maybe too much. And then good God, I'm also human!
I defended your life, while your name stayed inside me and never left my mouth. Ask Miranda if I ever so much whispered to her. While you were outside having fun fucking your little bitch!
You forgave me! You forgave me! Let's close this book once and for all and never speak about this again. Never again. Never, ever again.
How many times did you fuck me?
Paulina,
How many?
baby.
How many times
want to destroy me? Is that what you want?
I want to know how many something about that bitch. That wasn't the first night, was it, Hera? You had seen her before, right? Tell me the truth.
You know, people can die of the excessive amount of truth.
How many times?
Twice.
That night. What about before that night?
3 times.
What?
3 times!
Oh, she was that good. You liked her that much. And she liked it too. She must have really enjoyed it if she came back to you.
What else do you want from me, Paulina? What else? We survived. We survived the dictatorship, and now we are going to do to each other what those bastards couldn't? What do you want? Do you want me to go? Do you want me to go and never come back to you again? Good God, do you want me to leave for good? Because that's what you're going to get. I've got no defenses.
I want you on the commission, defending the truth.
Then never mention the bitch of that night again. Otherwise you will destroy me. Is that what you want?
No.
Are you going to confess then?
Yes.
Everything? Now, this is how we are going to sort it. Together, you and me. We are going inside, I will switch on the recorder and you will tell us everything. Everything the way it happened. Like, you know, like you were sitting in front of the commission. Here is the recorder. You can start.
I don't know how to begin.
Begin with your name.
My maiden name is Paulina Salas. Now I'm married to Gerardo Escobar, the lawyer, but at that time I was single. I was walking in the street at about 2:15 in the afternoon when suddenly I heard 3 men get out of a car. One of them stuck a gun in my back. "One word and will blow you away, miss." He spat the words into my head. He had garlic on his breath. I was surprised that I should focus on such an insignificant detail, the lunch he had eaten. Later on I would reproach myself why I didn't call out. I knew that if that happened, you're supposed to scream so that people can know who it is. Call out your name. "I'm Paulina Salas, they're kidnapping me." I obeyed them right away without even a gesture of defiance. All my life I've always been too obedient. The doctor wasn't among them. I met Dr. Miranda for the first time 3 days later. At first I thought that he would save me. He was so soft, so nice after what the others had done to me. And then all of a sudden I heard the Schubert quartet. There is no way of describing what it means to hear that wonderful music in the darkness, when you haven't eaten in 3 days, when your body is falling apart.
I will put on the music because it had me in my role, the role of a good guy. I will put on Schubert because it was a way of gaining the prisoner's trust. But I also knew it was a way of alleviating their suffering. The prisoners were dying on them, and they needed someone to have care for them. They wanted to install a totalitarian dictatorship. I became involved in more delicate operations. They had me sit on in sessions where my role was to determine if the prisoners could take that much torture, that much electric current. At first, I told myself that it was a way of saving people's lives, and I did, because many times I told them to stop or the prisoners would die, without it being true, simply to help the person who was being tortured. But afterwards, the virtue I was feeling turned into excitement. By the time Paulina Salas was brought in, it was already too late. A kind of brutalization took over my life, and I began to really like what I was doing. It became a game. My curiosity was partly morbid, partly scientific. How much can this woman take? More than the other one? What's her vagina like? Does it dry up when you put the current through her? Can she have an orgasm under those circumstances? She is entirely in your power. You can carry out all your fantasies. You can do what you want with her. Come on, doctor, one of them would say to me. You're not going to refuse treatment, are you? They called him Stud. I never found out his real name. They like it, doctor, Stud would say to me. All those bitches like it. And if you put that sweet little music of yours, they will get even cozier. He would say this in front of the women, in front of Warren stars, he would say it. But not one ever died on me. Not one of the women, not one of the men. I took part in the interrogation of 94 prisoners, including Warren stars. It is all I can say.
And I ask forgiveness. And now what?
Now you're going to write a statement that this was all done of your free, without any sort of pressure whatsoever.
Old enough? Old enough? It's over.
It's almost over, yes. I'm glad to see that you're still a man of principle, Ariel. I thought I'd have to convince you now that you know that he's really guilty. I thought I'd have to convince you not to kill him.
I would never stain my hands with someone like this.
Right. Go get his car. I had hidden it near the cave before I caught him.
Are you sure that I can leave you alone with him?
I wouldn't say I was all right.
All right, all right. I'll go get his car. Take care of yourself.
You too.
And don't forget to return his Schubert cassette. You've got your own.
Can I go to the bathroom now?
Don't move just yet, Doctor. There is still a little matter pending. You know what the only thing that's missing now to make my day truly perfect? To kill you. So that I can listen to my Schubert again. That's what I need.
Madam, your husband left you trusting that you gave your word.
When I gave my word, I still had a doubt. A teensy-weensy doubt that you were really that man. But when I heard your confession, my last doubts vanished. You have got 1 minute to pray, Doctor.
Don't do it. I'm innocent.
You're innocent. But you have just confessed.
That confession is false.
What do you mean it's false?
I made it up. We made it up.
You seem quite true to me. Painfully familiar as far as I'm concerned.
Your husband told me not to lie. Believe me, it was the only way. But I'm innocent, Mrs. Escobar. God in heaven.
Do not invoke God when you're so close to finding out whether he exists or not. Stop.
What?
Several times in your confession, you mentioned the name Stott.
This name was given to me by your husband.
I gave him the name Bud, Doctor. I gave him the wrong name to see if he would correct it. And you did correct it. You corrected the name Bud and substituted the name Stott. There were other variations that I inserted into my story to Ariel, and you corrected all of them and confessed the truth only you and I know. But you see, I'm not going to kill you. Because you're guilty. But because repent or I shoot you. You have got 10 seconds. Repent or I shoot you! You have got 10 seconds.
10,
I have children. I have children.
9,
Two boys and a girl. Two boys and a girl. Not irritate. Not irritate. Not irritate. Don't shoot. Don't shoot. I will back. I will back. I will back. I will back. Forgive me. Forgive me. What about the police? What about the police? You're bad. You're bad. You're bad.
Down with the sickness.